Hello, my name is Lynette Davies, and I had a question for you, but I first wanted to go over a little bit about the plants and the fines that cities and counties are actually fining. Like right now, Fresno is $1,000 per day per plant. And here in Sacramento, we have an ordinance that fines people $500 per day for watering their plant. So we have a law that Prop 64 is going to allow everybody 6 plants, but it's not also allowing cities and counties to place fines against people. Like in Rancho Cordova on the ballot right now, they want $600 per square foot to grow your plant inside your home if this passes. What kind of protections are going to be guaranteed that you even can grow 6 plants?
Okay. Hello, Lynette. Thank you for your question. There's no guarantee anywhere of anything. Okay, and that really is the hardest reality to swallow about this. Trying to break through that constitutional right of a local jurisdiction to control its land use is going to be an uphill battle. But at least 64 gives the right to grow 6 plants, and they can't ban it. Now, what does it mean to ban? This is something that's going to have to be litigated, quite frankly, because $600 a square foot, making people pay to water, things like that, those turn out to be effective bans. We're not even status of redheaded stepchildren right now. There are some realities here that we're going to have to go in and litigate. And I'm sorry to say that, but attorneys are probably the ones that make out the most when there's any question in laws. And that's where this is going to end up.
Well, I mean, he just made our own point, which is that attorneys are the ones who are going to have to deal with this, attorneys and lobbyists, because a de facto ban means that, well, nobody can do it. But that doesn't mean that out of a city of 1 million people, there's only 10 that can do it. You got 10 people doing it, that's not a ban. So really, where it comes down to is what regulations are going to be placed, and those are 100% up in the hands of the cities. And the city does not like us. The first neighbor complaint, I can guarantee your permit will go. As soon as somebody smells it next door, they'll complain to the city, and the city will say, well, do you have a permit for doing that? Yes. Well, sorry, it smells, so it's revoked. There's nothing to protect those issues. So this thought that everybody is now going to have a right to grow 6 plants, it's really a fallacy, because everybody's going to have a right to grow 6 plants if the city lets them, as long as the city doesn't ban them, right? So how many people in Sacramento are going to be able to get a permit to grow 6 plants, or what's Sacramento's policy going to be? They could make another policy where, well, you can grow 6 plants, but only if your house is 200 feet from the bridge and not adjacent to any other residence, and, you know, just so that it still fits a few places in the city. And this is, you know, I hate to bring up San Jose again, but that is exactly what happened down there. I lost 2 dispensaries. One, because we were too close to a residence, even though we were in a light industrial zone. One of our members lived in one of the buildings behind us, and so that counts as a residence. So we were actually shut down by the city at that location because somebody living behind the pot club, one of our members, lived there. They weren't complaining. They loved the fact that they could walk next door and get their pot. On the other one, we had a church next to them, which, you know, that just really doesn't make any sense, especially it's one of those God hates gays churches. So one of my locations we were kicked out of because through land use and through permitting, we were too close to somebody who was a member of our club. And the other, because we were too close to the God hates gays church, right? So, no, not everybody's going to have a right to grow 6 plants. People in the right scenario where the city lets them do that are going to have the right to do it. But that's the big problem with this law, is we aren't taking away power from the cities and giving it to a state agency that or a standard set of regulations that could be implemented across the entire state. We're saying, hey, city, every single city, you got to come up with your own rules. You can do whatever the hell you please. Just, you can't ban indoor growing of 6 plants in one building, but, you know, you can put all sorts of regulations on it. So I can't say enough, but please vote no on Prop 64. It really is the death to California's marijuana industry.
And we'd like to thank everybody for appearing today. Again, I'd like to thank the questions from the audience and the participation from the board and the time that everybody put into this. Shelby for organizing it, and of course, my co-moderator, Richard, for help with getting all this done. Thank you all for coming today.
I'd just like to say, everybody should take the time, get educated. You should take the time to read the 62 pages if you don't understand it. It's very important that you understand what you're going to be voting on when you move forward here in November. Whatever happens, remember, we must work together. If it should move forward and pass, that's fine. If it should fail, that's fine. But what we should do as a community is stick together and keep progressing this forward in a positive direction. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to come out today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Cannabis be with you.
Time to smoke some pot. I'm a hugger, man.